Much for having us. My my name's Louise Hayes. I'm the Senior Operations Manager for Surrey Choices. I'm joined today by my colleague Erice Tomlin, who is one of our Employment and Communities Managers for the Employability Service at Surrey Choices. What we've been asked to talk to you today about is pathways to employment for young people and the support that we can give through our Employability Service. So if I just go on to the first slide, she says, then that's not working. There we go. Okay. So Surrey Choices, we are, I just better click that out of the way, sorry. We're a local authority trading company, which means that we are owned by Surrey County Council. We became a local authority trading company in 2014, and we still retain a very, very close relationship with the council and joint strategic goals, particularly with regards to our aspirations for assisting as many young people with disabilities into employment as possible. We do provide, the whole organisation does provide a number of services for adults with physical and learning disabilities, also sensory impairments and autism, and it does span across the whole of Surrey. And we do make sure that all of those services fit into our ethos of inclusion, and they will fit into one of the 4 quadrants of support that you can see on the top left-hand corner of the slide there. But today, I'm specifically here to talk to you about our services for young people, and that's young people who are either leaving or continuing education in preparation for adulthood, and that's to support their journey into employment. Those services are listed here on the left. I will go through them on the following slides. We've also got a lot of information in our brochure. You can see that on the right hand side of the slide there, our Preparing for Adulthood brochure. And what I will do after the presentation, I will forward the slides to Nicole. I will also forward a copy of that brochure, and we have got some short videos as well. I've got a couple of them in the presentation today. Hopefully they will play. If not, we will put the links to those in for you to have a look at as well, because I think the message does always come better from the young people that we've supported. So just moving on to the next slide there. So this slide shows the full spectrum of services that we currently provide for young people, and these are delivered through our employability service. So to give you a bit of history about employability, it's a very large service. It does span Surrey and beyond. They've won many awards over the years, and they are currently supporting just under 800 people. So it is very large. We know that work does play a vital role in defining an individual's quality of life. It's very, very important part of a person's overall life experience. So employability do follow a very personalised model for supporting people to secure and retain paid employment. The model has got at its heart the notion that anyone can be employed if they want paid employment, obviously, and also that sufficient support is provided for them wherever they are at on their journey at whatever point. We've developed the services that you can see on the screen here, and that's been in response to the needs of the people that have been referred to us over the last few years. So employability did start as a service that was offering supported employability services for adults. And as we had more and more younger people referred to us and realised that the needs were very, very different, we've developed a whole range of different services to try and meet those needs. Initially, you can see on the right hand side of the screen there, we were delivering supported internships, and that's Eric's going to talk to you about those a little bit later in the presentation. And they are pretty much sort of at the end of that spectrum of support, so the end of the journey. Many of the young people that were referred to us were not ready to embark on those, because they are quite structured. They're structured work ready programs. So what we've done in developing the other services is we've sort of worked backwards for if you like, as a way of describing it, so that we can develop a range of services to get people to that point. Some of those services are quite structured and some are more personalised and delivered on a one-to-one basis. Some people do join us at the beginning of the journey, and they will be, travel with us the full spectrum of programs, and others will join at any point. At any point, they can join at any program, and we can offer some tailored support. So the teams, as I said, have been doing this for a very long time. They're very, very good at working with individuals and families to assess where somebody's at on their journey and what levels of support and assistance that they may need to progress towards their employment goals. I will come back to this slide a little bit later because it is a very good visual representation of the journey. But now I'll go on to talk about each of those in a little bit more detail. So the first, this slide covers our pre and prep programs. So prep is the newest program that we deliver. It stands for Personalised Resilience and Engagement Program. For quite a while, we had been delivering one-to-one support programs for those who were not quite ready for a structured program. And that was potentially young people who were not engaging in education or other traditional work skills programs. And some of them were struggling to leave the house, particularly during COVID. That hit a lot of people quite hard. We can still set up those bespoke packages of one-to-one support and deliver hours in that way, but we now have the PrEP programme, and what PrEP does is formalise that into a programme across an academic year. We deliver in that programme an average of 4 to 5 hours of support a week, and we work with the other agencies that are involved with the individual so that we can ensure a holistic approach to their support. We also deliver the EHCP as part of that package. And because these are one-to-one programs, they're really, really personalised. They run at a much slower pace. They enable us to continuously assess engagement and commitment from the individual. The employment support specialists working with the individual will strip it right back to work with them at whatever stage they're at and whatever they need. So they're working on self-confidence, they're working on self-esteem. We can work with individuals in their own homes if people are experiencing anxiety leaving the home, or we could work in a variety of other settings to really, really break down those initial barriers that are preventing engagement. And the ultimate aim here is to prepare people for either a work placement or one of the more structured work-ready programs, or for them to return back to an educational setting, whatever their own personal aspirations are from that programme. We have at Surrey Choices a number of vocational projects, and these are currently undergoing development at the moment. They aim to teach people skills in relation to those specific project settings, but as well as building confidence and working on the broader, softer skills that are often the barrier to employment for many. And these can be things such as teamwork or timekeeping or professional relationships. And again, the aim here is for people to move on to one of the other programs when they are ready and when they have the skills to do so. These projects can also provide some placement support for individuals on our other programs. So the ones that we are currently running and developing at the moment, we've got a cafe project, and that's running out of a cafe in Staines. And they do run structured learning in food hygiene and catering skills, as well as front of house skills. We've got 3 horticultural projects across the county, and they partner with a number of conservation organisations. And at the moment, they're currently working with the Surrey Hills Society very closely, working on community gardens and allotments. And they are looking into the possibility. We're developing a programme where we're partnering with a couple of farms in West Surrey to provide work experience and skill building programmes. We also do have some projects that concentrate on more administrative and IT type roles for those that are interested in learning those skills. Next slide. This Future Choices, so this is our Future Choices programme. Future Choices is a 5-day-a-week programme, and that is designed to be a pathway to employment for 16 to 24-year-olds who are SEND funded. So it's designed to be a solid foundation for those with special educational needs and disabilities, and those that are referred into this programme do need to have an active EHCP. We follow an academic year with Future Choices, and we have intakes in September, but also January for those that may not be quite ready for the September start. If they're leaving a school or education setting, sometimes people need a bit of time in between before they're ready to actually start. So we start another intake in January as well. And it does run term time only, and that's across an academic year. It's not a college course, it's not an accredited course. It's made up of 3 days of either joining the vocational projects in work experience settings, or we look for work experience settings with employers in the community, or we look for voluntary placements for the individual as well, so that they can get some real experience of real work settings. And because this is run through our employability service, the team have got the advantage of a network, a huge network of employers, but also community and voluntary organisations that they've been working with for many, many years. That does include health and education providers across the county, and they are usually really, really successful in finding work experience placements according to the individual's interests and the aspirations that they've set for themselves for their employment goals. We work with small employers as well as large employers, and because of that, there's a really high success rate of people continuing with paid employment after the programme. So that 3 days a week is dedicated to the work experience, and the fourth day is called a My Day, and that's a day where the young people will work towards independence goals such as cooking, travel training, money management. We've supported a number of individuals, for example, over the last couple of years, who've been working towards their driving theory test. So it really does depend on the individual, and we can tailor some structured learning towards the interests and needs that they have. The fifth day a week is called their Health and Wellbeing Day, and that's a day for the person to focus on their physical and mental well-being. And that can be doing sports or social activities that they enjoy. And they do often do quite a lot of group activities as well. So there is a very social element to this programme. And by the end of Future Choices, we would aim for the individual to either be moving on to a supported internship programme, or for them to have a volunteering or work placement for at least 10 hours or plus a week, or for them to be in paid employment. And we've had a very high success rate of individuals moving on to paid employment. So this is the point here where I'm going to attempt to play a video. If it doesn't work, we'll abandon that, and I will send the links when I send the information through, but hopefully this will work. So just let me know whether or not I'll have to switch to YouTube. So let me know if you can hear sound.
Hi, my name is Thomas, and I work at the Cricketers. Whilst here at the Cricketers, I do the washing up, and what that includes is putting everything through the dishwasher and then unloading it and putting everything away. And then I help with deliveries, which include fish and vegetables. I help put them away, and then I use the baler to crush boxes. Surrey Choices helped me get an internship here at the Cricketers, and then it led to a job. When I found out that I got the part-time job, I was over the moon about it. My favourite thing about working here at the Cricketers is the staff who I work with. They are very helpful and caring, and they still are till this day. I'd like to say thank you to Surrey Choices for nominating me for this award, and more importantly, I'd like to give a big thank you to Julia, who helped me get this job by growing more stronger and confident in my everyday life. If you're looking for a job and need some support, just keep with Surrey Choices, because eventually you'll get what you're looking for.
Great. So just flick back to the presentation. The awards that Thomas was speaking about then, we do each year, we run an award scheme, and that is called our Celebrating Success Awards across all of our services across the organisation. And we do put on an event, and we do to recognise individuals and their achievements across the year, but also to recognise the employers that have really supported those individuals in their employment journey. So at this point, I'm going to now hand over to Eric, and Eric's going to talk to you a little bit about supported internships. If he can get off mute.
That would help, wouldn't it? Yeah, sorry. I was typing a response to a question that's just come up. So I'll finish that in a minute. So supported internships. Supported internships basically is what follows on from Future Choices. We partner with currently with Nescott College because there is an educational requirement to supported internships. However, on our supported internship program, the individuals that attend our program don't actually need to physically attend college. We work across the course of an academic year to provide as many suitable options to the individual around work experience, but we engage with the employers to look at real roles within their employment that the individuals can do their work experience on. So there is a criteria of what's expected for that role with the employer, and we work closely with the employer and the individual to make sure that the individual is meeting the targets within that workplace for the job role. Over the course of an academic year, the individual on the supported internship program is expected to complete 540 hours of work experience or voluntary work as part of the educational element, and they do this over 3 days a week. Those 3 days a week can be any day of the week that's suitable to the employer, suitable to the individual, based around the needs of the actual work experience that the individual is looking for. And it's very, very bespoke. It's very centered around the individual and what they want to do, what experiences they're looking to gain, what it might help them lead on to, as in possibly further education to target key job roles, etc. It is, like I said, it is term time only for one academic year. You can only do it for one academic year. You cannot repeat it. But the work coaches work one-to-one with the individuals to ensure that they develop the skills and confidence in the workplace, that they are doing the job properly. They support the employer as well. Outside of the placement, we also help with CV building. So we will help the individual create a CV. There isn't a requirement from the educational side to either have level 4 GCSE or be working towards this. However, we can make exemptions for this if this is necessary. To be able to be on the supported internship program, you must have an active EHCP in place, and we will partake in an EHCP review towards the end of the supported internship as well. We have workbooks that we work on as well to deliver through the course of the year, that work around sort of identifying key areas of the workplace, such as health and safety, first aid, fire awareness, that sort of thing, to be able to understand what you need to know within the workplace. And that is pretty much supported internships. So we have a video here now from one of our supported internship placements. This young lady started just before the COVID pandemic started. She did a work experience placement for 3 months in an administration role, and then following on from that, she moved to working with animals at a dog daycare centre, which she thoroughly enjoyed. Unfortunately, COVID struck and she wasn't able to do a third option of work experience. However, luckily, a job role came up with the doggy daycare, and she applied for it and was successful in achieving that. She's still now there to this day. She is being further developed in various areas, being upskilled, gaining qualifications and training, such as dog grooming and puppy management. And she really is soaring and becoming quite a useful asset to the employer. Louise.
Yeah, I will just play that one. There we go.
My name's Rebecca and I am working at Surrey Choices Doggy Daycare. I get to be around with different dogs. They can be really shy and really happy to see you.
Rebecca is passionate about dogs. You can teach anyone to look after a dog, but you can't teach them to have passion. And Rebecca has a passion for dogs and animals in general, so we spotted that immediately.
In the future, I think I see myself working with animals because I like being outside in the fresh air, just learning how to deal with situations.
She's always here on time, she's reliable, she's trustworthy, she's responsible. She's so much more knowledgeable about dogs, her confidence has grown, and you can tell that she really enjoys being here. To other employers, I'd say go for it. We've got some fantastic staff here, and hopefully Rebecca's going to join us. She's as committed and professional as the rest of the staff here.
The advice I would give is follow your dreams and see where the path takes you.
Let's just flip back to the presentation. And back to me. So this supported employment, this is the adult funded services, and I've just put a little bit about this in because I wanted to demonstrate that if once the young people have gone through the programs that we've just described, and there is still ongoing support needed, that we can support the individual and their family to look at the eligibility for adult services at that point, to be able to continue with funded support with their employability service. So I just wanted to demonstrate that there isn't a cliff edge at that age 24. If an individual still needs ongoing support, we can continue with that, and we would just support them to liaise with the adult social care teams to be able to establish eligibility for funding there. The employability service, so for supported employment, they do follow the principles of supported employment, and that does very much employ a partnership strategy, working really closely with employers to be to enable people with disabilities to achieve sustainable long-term employment, and for businesses to employ valuable workers and to recognise the value that they can get out of employing people with disabilities. We do strive for real jobs, and that is across all of our programmes, and that means that we ensure that terms and conditions for people that we help to place are the same as for everybody else in the workplace. So that includes pay and other contractual terms and conditions. So we very much believe in real jobs for people, and it is worth noting here that if individuals are funded for our support through this service, we don't close people once employment is secured. So we do provide a keep in touch service, so that we are there to provide support if it's ever needed again in the future. Things come up during employment at various points in our lives. We all need some additional support, and also individuals won't necessarily want to stay in the same job forever, and if they decide on a career change, we can come back in, we can step back in, and we can support to look for other jobs as well. So I'm just going to pop back to this slide just right at the beginning, and that's just so hopefully now that you can see that for the young people that we support, there is a journey there, and we can pick up support at any point and any stage along that journey. And as I said before, some people do join us and will travel through all of those programs that we've spoken about today. Others will just pick and join at what point is applicable to them. And some people do join and go straight into a supported internship if that kind of structured program is what they're looking for. We've got really flexible teams. They are very well connected. They are very innovative, and they're very experienced in meeting the needs of individuals with care and support needs. And that's how these creative programs have really come about in the first place. We can work with caseworkers, we can work with families, and we can really personalise that support to meet the needs of the individual wherever they are at on that journey. So that's us done. There's quite a lot of information in there. There's probably some questions in the chat which I haven't got up. I'll probably be able to